Roy Brothers podcast,
Roy
episode
Brothers.
0.
Episode 0.
Introductions. All right.
You look like you're acting like there's a guy with a gun behind the camera with a script.
I mean,
That's what
first
you gotta
time
say.
doing this.
You seem like a hostage.
Yeah, I'm doing this, because I know you've been wanting to do it for a while. So, and you know what? We started comedy, so why not? But pretty much, we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Matt Roy. I'm
Hey.
a skinny, gangly one.
Yeah, I'm Rob the fat fuck in the family.
The guy that, like I said, he's been wanting to do this for a while, and we just jumped into comedy together. So, now,
yeah.
Rob, why comedy for you? Why do you do it, and what made you want to get into it?
What made me want to get into it? Something I've been looking at for a while, and I think it all started obviously with the joy of making people laugh. It's contagious and it feels great. But the last job I had, it was kind of dog eat dog a little bit. You're basically stuck in a small cube farm with 3 other guys, and you just savagely bust each other's balls to the point where you kind of have to bust balls to survive.
Yep.
And what came out of that was a lot of funny and a lot of quick wit. And when I started incorporating that in everyday conversation and, with the guys and we're laughing, I was thinking like, damn, maybe there's some kind of avenue to get this out, like get an outlet out of there. And, I've always loved stand-up comedy, and I figured that'd be something to check out. And lo and behold, Matt sends a text message to me one day saying there's a comedy class, and it's right in Warwick. It's right across the street over here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, time to, do or die. And I just took that as a sign to go for it.
Yep. Definitely.
I said, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Mhm.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well,
Let's go, right? But I was kind of like talking shit a little bit. So when the time came, it was like, well, guess what? I signed you up. It's like, oh shit.
Yep. You know what? Yeah, like I said,
I did it, and it's been beautiful ever since.
Yeah, and honestly, shout out to Kyle Cody for pushing me to do this. I've known him since I was a teenager, went to high school together, and me and him started off by going to metal shows all the time. And our friend Sean, who's not, he's in another state right now, but, I love those guys dearly, honestly. And so when, they either of them tell me I'm going to enjoy something, I take their word for it. Cause you're going to love this, man. You got to try it. So, first time he told me I should do it, I'm not going to lie, I brushed it off because I was like, I could never do comedy. I could never get up on stage. I can barely talk at the office meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I struggle with that too.
Yeah.
Getting in front of the office, where we work, the white collar stuff. A lot of the time, you have to get up and maybe present, or like you said, just I don't know. This actually helped. This has actually helped a lot.
It's good exposure therapy,
Yeah.
But too, on top of Kyle as well, shout out to him, one of my best friends, getting me into it. But also shout out to John Parada too, because he helped us out with the class, and he runs a good program over there. And then obviously the teachers as well. John Hebert was there, and Colleen as well. All of them are really great, helping you out. So, and like I said, for me anyway, getting into it. It's like even growing up, dude. We even the family tale we do is bust balls. So it's like I feel like naturally we have that ambition to tell jokes. So might as well do it and expand upon it, and we just have fun with it. It's not even about money or anything like that for me. It's just going out and just, dude, I'm hanging out with my buddies at this point.
Yeah.
Freaking laughing, having a good time, and like I said, Kyle and John and everybody that I mentioned just previously, they play a big role in it. So that's why I got started. That's how I got started,
Just ripped it off like a band-aid. And as you're saying, like John and Kyle, they're super supportive. They really kicked us off. And just now that, so what's, you do it for all the reasons we said, but at the end of the day, the community is what keeps you there. And the community, the Rhode Island comic scene community is one of the best I've ever been a part of. Everyone's just super supportive. We all have a great time, and we all look out for each other.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of communities out there. I've been skateboarding for a long time, met a lot of good people through skateboarding. But to be honest, the comedy scene, it's the different ball game. Everyone's there to support you, and you're laughing and having a good time. So it's a lot of fun. So now not for nothing, because I've tried to find time between skateboarding and comedy and all this other stuff, but it's great. I'm busy and I'm having fun with it, um, and I'm glad we did it. And I kind of want to touch upon John's class again too, like because
Yeah.
anybody that might watch this and might be interested in doing comedy, like John's class is good because we learn with Colleen and John and it's actually Joe Hebert. Sorry, I said John Hebert in the past, but it's Joe Hebert. He's pretty good too. All of them give you pointers, and it's like you're learning how to get comfortable. And dude, it's a lot of fun, man. Met a lot of good people. Are still doing it today, like Jimmy Roy, Mike Harrington. They were in our class. Eddie Marin. We share the stage with
Shout
them
out,
almost
boys.
every week now. Yeah. So and then everyone else, sorry if I forget any names, but you guys know who you are, and it's it's a blast. So, I mean, looking at John's class, Rob, is there anything else that you think we should you would want to highlight on his class?
Just
You
a
know what I
big shout out to John and everything he does for the community. He goes above and beyond to make sure everyone gets a spot and gets exposure. And shit, John's awesome. I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, dude, can I just send you my set?
mean?
Can you take a look at it and just like take
He
some
will,
notes,
too.
critique? He said, yeah. Oh, dude, that like, where else do you get that? That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, like I said, it's been a good journey. I think we all, like I said, I'm glad that I pushed you to do it, and you pushed me, and then Kyle pushed me to do it because I
We're
was
just pushing each other, and now we're just like one fucking identity.
yeah, the Roy brothers, and honestly,
The Roy brothers,
I
yeah.
guess so
And fuck, I'm gonna latch onto that because I think we make a good comedic team.
yeah,
We kind of balance each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
You're technically more clean than I am,
yeah, and I think it's important to work
and
on the clean stuff.
I'm trying to get more clean. And looking at you, like that helps me. So
No, well, we look at each other. I think if I want to learn some bar comedy, I listen to your sets. You know what I mean? You want to learn some clean
it's
stuff.
not everyone's
then-
cup of tea, but
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think comedy is subjective, so you can find something funny for anybody.
well, I think we should get maybe in the next episode, like episode 1, like the try and true episode, we should get into clean versus blue,
Yeah,
clean
well-
versus dirty, and like the pros and cons. Because I think everyone should have a clean set.
Well, I guess
But
that could.
that's beyond this episode. I think.
yeah.
I think next we should actually talk about what the hell this podcast is going
That
to
was
be
gonna
about.
say that can segue into the next thing. So, what this podcast and anybody that's watching, like what this podcast is and what it's going to be about. So, I think Rob, what we were saying, we want it to be about Rhode Island comedy for now, anyway. Like we want to talk about Rhode Island.
Yeah, we
comedy.
need. I want to shine a light on the Rhode Island comic scene.
Yeah, we
'cause
want to interview people. We want to get to know people too, because dude, we're new.
absolutely, we're new,
And,
and
we want to. This is a good way for us to. We want to get out there and meet other people, and we want anybody that wants to come on. Or
you
we're
can
cool
you
with
can
talking
sit
and-
you can sit right in the middle there, cozy up to us.
yeah.
Not really.
We'll get a chair for you.
Hell,
whatever
we
you
can
wanna
even
do.
come to you.
Yeah.
I have the mobile set up right now,
Yep.
and a couple, as you can see,
Yeah.
a couple lav mics, which we're gonna find a solution to get one more on. But
Yeah, and Rob, so you're really, not for nothing. You're the one that's really, what would I call that? Like, headstrong on this. You're really the one that's spearheading this whole podcasting. So tell me, what do you want this podcast to? What do you want this podcast to be about? What are we gonna? I'll let you tell them.
so yeah, stop me if you disagree. So I think right now the vision is obviously Rhode Island comic scene. So let's get our peers over here. Even if I've never met you, just send me. Let's talk. Let's get over here. Let's promote your sets. Let's promote your shows. Let's promote the open mics you go to. Let's get to know each other. Let's really highlight the Rhode Island comic scene.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. That's where this is going to go. And eventually, in the future, I'd like to see this spread to the entire Northeast, because we got some brothers and sisters over in Boston that are tearing it up like we are, and we haven't even never met them yet. Even though you went to Boston, I'm super jealous.
Yeah, hey, I mean, shout out to that, that open mic. It was cool. It was down in Boston, and you know what? I will respect anybody that takes the time to run an open mic. You know what I mean? Because that takes a lot of time and takes,
Yeah, absolutely.
not everyone's doing it, so I appreciate it. And I freaking got mic hair stuck in my freaking mouth. I feel like I got pubes on my tongue.
I'm holding up like this, like it's a mic.
Yeah. But anyway, so at the end of the day, like Rob's saying, about Rhode Island comedy. We'll talk about interview comics. We can get our guys. We're going to get Jimmy on here. We'll talk about, Kyle's going to be I believe he's going to be our first guest. Because,
Yeah, we told him he'd get the first spot. Sorry, Johnny.
yeah, so we'll get him on here. We get, anybody that wants to come up with his, we want to highlight and have people talk about how they got their start. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think
that's cool.
what
I want to
need
hear
be.
your stories, because
Yeah.
I think
Like what started it and what you get out of it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it's so awesome to see other people's perspectives and other angles. And I think a lot of the comedians out there can draw from everyone's experience and really have a 360 view of what they want to do. But I think what else I want to do too on the podcast is I do want to keep it comedy. So it'd be cool, like we were saying earlier, it'd be cool to keep it like, we'll keep some stuff in there like, hey, clean sets versus dirty sets, and how do you present yourself, and how do you write? Like, I want to ask every single person that comes on here that we interview and we talk to, what's your writing process look like? I
Yeah.
think that's super interesting.
You got to break it down. You know what I mean? And we'll tell some jokes and just have fun with it and
Yeah.
let it flow.
It's not going
But,
to be all this.
Yeah.
There's a guy
No,
with a
we don't
gun
want it to
behind the
be
camera.
totally scripted.
We're
We want-
hostages.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like
Yeah.
that. It's gonna get crazy, I think. And
Yeah.
entertaining, because that's another thing too. We want to be, the third point of the podcast or videocast, whatever, is I want to be entertaining. I want people to get a laugh. Maybe they throw it on up their way to work. And
Yeah. You never know what.
once a week, we just bring some extra laughs to
Yeah.
someone's day.
Yeah, you never know, and honestly, if you take time to watch this, appreciate it. So, we'll get some other people on here, but this is our introduction to kind of let you know we'll
Yeah.
do that, and then I think
We're in it.
eventually, we could talk. We'll eventually want to branch out, maybe do some Boston comics and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like I said, and then we'll talk about different topics, and we want to hear other people's stories and understand what they get out of it, and just kind of talk comedy. And in general, we're talking comedy.
Yep,
That's
in
gonna
general,
be
yeah.
that's gonna be the big thing. This is a Rhode Island, this is a comic podcast, I guess you would say, and just some general banter here and there, telling some jokes, and we make some comments.
Yeah, we're gonna have
you
some
know what I
fun.
mean? Yeah. So
And so what else? So I think too, there's some room to branch off. I think we should have some time to fuck. It'd be fun to write jokes live, or just like throw a topic out there and just
Yeah.
workshop it. I think live workshops would be really cool, especially with our guests. And I think general chatter and banter about of stuff will be good too.
Well, all right. So let's switch gears a little bit, kind of go into the introduction again, so people kind of know who we are. Want to tell me a little bit about what you've done so far in comedy? What type of mics have you hit, and what type of comedy are you doing? What kind of comic? No, I don't want to say label yourself as you don't want to label. I don't feel like you should put yourself have a label as a comic, like, or are you a dirty comic, whatever. But like, what type of comedy do you find yourself doing? What do you find enjoyable, and kind of what type of mics have you been hitting in the area so far? And then, go from there, and I can kind of talk about my side too.
Yeah, so obviously I'm still new. I think we're only doing it for like a few months.
Yeah,
So,
since November.
it's kind of weird. I kind of don't want to call myself a comic.
Hey man,
You know what I mean? I don't like, because like I don't feel like I deserve that title right now.
hey, you get up on a stage, whether it's an open mic or it's a regular stage, what I mean? You don't have to be performing at Comic Connection to be a comic, in my opinion. Even though that is a pretty big scene, I think just getting up there on a Wednesday night considers you a comic for sure, dude. You write the jokes, put the time in.
Yeah, and it's such a good creative outlet too. I feel like a part of me was missing for the creative side of my life. I've tried writing, I've tried drawing,
Yeah.
I've tried everything, but this
A
is
million hobbies. This is the one
million.
hobby you stuck with for the longest time.
this is the longest.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call it a hobby, man. That's
Yeah.
kind of dirty to say too.
I know, right? It's not a hobby.
I mean, I don't know, because those filthy hobbyists, right?
Well, hey.
That's a contention in comedy, right? I'm not. That's fine. It's fine. It's a hobby. I'm not saying. I'm not.
Well, it's more, it's because you don't know what it's going to become when you first
No, you
start. You
don't.
know what I mean? You're
Well,
testing the waters.
I'm quickly finding out what it's becoming, and it's fun, and it's being a part of a community. Like, again, that's the best community I've ever been a part of. And like you said, the man of a million hobbies I've been a part of.
I've known
a
you
lot of
my whole life,
communities.
literally. The only thing I've seen you keep this long is probably video games and drinking beer.
Hey, cheers.
What's your hobby? Drinking. But yeah, so what mics have you hit? Or we've hit Touch Lounge, rest in peace.
So okay,
we've
so
hit a couple.
yeah, so let's dig in. So Rhode Island comic scene. Yeah, so Touch Lounge in Cranston was freaking awesome. That was like my comedic safe space, dude.
Yeah,
That's where I met
home-
everybody.
home
That's
base.
where I built my biggest relationships. We go every week for months, and I stay from beginning to end the whole time. And afterwards, I like to talk to the boys and girls that are up there. So Touch Lounge is huge. They didn't go out of business, but they sold to in their words, an American style bar.
Yeah.
And I hope if I think they're called Phoenix.
Yeah. It's
I don't know, but if
Phoenix.
they're listening or if anybody out there knows them and they want to keep the open mic, that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So Touch Lounge. So since they went out, shout out to our own Mr. Finley.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call him by his first name because I think that's weird.
Yeah. So Dirty Grandpa.
I'm just kidding, Dirty. We love
Sick
you.
man.
Dirty Grandpa, aka Steve Finley, is a freaking awesome guy, and I think he was instrumental in getting our next spot on Wednesdays. So that was the Blue Moon Pub,
Yeah.
and actually we just did it last night,
Yeah. Honestly,
which it was a great turnout. Everybody came to support.
yeah, I think Steve, well, Dirty Grandpa, and Steve DiNuccio and John all, hooked it up
Yeah,
with that.
so
But Steve, I think he
all three of them.
mentioned the spot.
Hey, shout out to Steve DiNuccio, huh?
Yeah, he goes to 3 open
He
mics
lugs
a
in
week.
those PAs all by himself. No one offers him any help
Yeah.
to carry it.
I know, poor guy. I helped the door for him last night in the pouring rain.
Steve's
I
a good
didn't-
guy,
I didn't even
too.
know he's packing up. He went quicker. I would have helped him out. But yeah, he definitely.
He
was
comes
doing
in, he's
3
on
open
time,
mics.
he sets up,
Yeah.
he makes sure everyone has their time,
Yep.
and then he breaks it down, he lugs out, and he's not
gone.
only doing
Yeah, 'cause
Blue
he's
Moon
got a lot.
pubs and fucking Touch Lounges,
He
right?
does Jake and Johnny's too.
He does them
Pub
all
on Park.
almost, it seems,
Yeah,
that
well,
I've
him and
touched.
John, yeah, Helm and John are out there hustling, and Steve's cool, DiNuccio, because he helps out a lot. You know what I mean? But my mic is sagging.
We'll see how that's going to sound,
Anyway,
because, like, I'm so close and you're kind of far.
yeah. Hey, I've never held something what looks like a little dick with
little-
pubes right there.
Little
That's what it
poof
looks
ball.
like.
This is what you do on a budget, boys.
Yep. But hey, we're making it happen, right? So, but yeah, no, honestly, I think, they were all instrumental in securing that place. So, that's, that right as of right now, I don't know if that's going to be every Wednesday there. I don't know if it's going to be permanent there or what. But definitely keep an eye out on Facebook with John and Steve DiNuccio. They'll be posting about it. But that's a great open mic, whether it's at, if it's going to be at Phoenix or whether it's going to be at that
Blue Moon
Blue
Pub?
Moon. I think it's really about the people. It's
really
where
about the
people are. Honestly, it's the people. I go
So-
for the people too. Either
Yeah,
where it goes,
I got
I'm
it.
going to be there. So.
Sometimes I'll go and I won't even go up. People know this, which is funny too, because I've had the host come to me and be like,
You
"Are you going up?" Like, no, I'm just watching. They're like, "Oh shit," because a lot of the times there's just comics that go,
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll just go to watch. I'm not feeling getting up on stage. I just like to come out to support because, like, I don't know, you all turn to my people, so
Yeah.
I just like to come out and hang out and
No, shout out to the comics. I go out and support people. I did Comedy Connection recently, and Aaron Lidecker came out and supported all the other comedians there, Brett Davey and all them out there.
That's a good one.
It was a good time, and I appreciate that. That's a lot. That shows a lot. Going out there to support people, and so hey, right back at you, man. We'll be out there to support you as well, and I love working with everybody too.
Me too.
So, but yeah, I mean,
hey, actually, we're talking about where I've been to. We would be remiss if we talked about this, Mike, and that's the Detour at Brass Monkey.
oh yeah.
That
Honestly,
is-
that's a good one.
That is a great mic, and I'm not downplaying Touch or Blue Moon Pub, but
Yeah.
when people ask me when can I come see you, I say, hey, come see me next month. I'll be at Brass Monkey because it's an accessible location in Providence.
And that's the thing too. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous to say things on the things. I don't want anybody to take it in a wrong way. But honestly,
Not one
every
iota
open
of-
mic is great. But you know what I mean, and everyone. And if I miss anyone's name, if anyone that actually is listening to this, I forget your name. I'm sorry, and you know who you are, who I share the stage with. I appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, there's no reading between the lines here. We're
Yeah,
just on
we're
some
only doing
dumbasses.
this live, but you guys know who you are. So anybody I share the stage with, at Comedy Connection, over at Touch Lounge,
Yeah,
Brass.
we're name dropping all these people. I hope it's okay, but just because we're not name dropping us, any one singular
we got-
person is not.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not what.
Yeah,
It's not
we
on purpose.
appreciate all you guys, but yeah, like you were saying, the Detour too. That's a good one. D friggin'
D
puts
comedy.
on a good one. Actually, let me hold on, going off script here.
Go get it.
But look it, I saved it. Make sure you check out the Detour when you can. All right, I saved. I gotta
We love
put it
the
up
Detour,
somewhere in
man.
my room.
Yeah,
But
D. Conley, she says that she popped my cherry.
that's a good one. I like that one a lot. That's
One of
coming
my
up this
first
Thursday.
major open mics that I went to. It was awesome.
Once a
And
month.
I guess another thing I should highlight too, even though it's not an open mic, was John Parada's what do you say, graduation show after the
Oh
class.
yeah, that was the first
Ooh,
one.
baby, that was a kickoff.
No.
That was a lot of people for me.
Yeah, that was, and I think that's when they're like, oh, we got. I don't know if they said the Roy brothers there. I don't remember the first time I heard it. I think I heard Brian Vincent saying one time. That was cool.
Yeah,
He gave us a shout out at Brass Monkey. That was
So
cool.
fucking funny, man.
And then yeah, he's funny too.
Holy
He's like
shit.
an old school like like quick comic, But
Yeah,
yeah,
he has this really funny grandmother too.
yeah. He roasted our uncle. He did a bit at our uncle's 80th birthday,
Yeah,
and there
yeah,
was
that's another great guy right there. Oh my god,
yeah.
just everyone's so great, dude.
He said, "What are you? Were you Italian?" And Uncle Ray said, "I'm Sicilian." Oh boy, don't tell a Sicilian. It's a whole different level for them.
Heyo.
Yeah,
Don't be a chooch.
yeah. Shoot. But yeah, honestly, Detour's coming up, and that's a good one. So
Yeah, so
that one too, dude. It's like it gets packed in there, but it's a good thing.
Oh, it's so freaking awesome.
And Brass
man.
Monkey's got pretty good food.
Oh yeah, they do.
And I like that it starts a little bit earlier sometimes too, because I can go right from work depending on
Absolutely.
what's going on. And honestly, you can fill that place pretty good too. So looking forward to that one. You got any new material coming up for that one?
Brass. I have a whole new slew of material, and it's a mix of clean and dirty because I'm doing my first ever clean show with you at the end of the month. So I'm slipping in some clean stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Not
March
as much
30th.
f-bombs or penises and vaginas and whatever we talk. Whatever's you consider blue.
Yeah.
And I think we should go up to Boston too because I got a lot of buddies
Yeah,
and
we could do
coworkers up in Boston that want to come see, but they don't really want to. And I don't blame them. Drive 2 hours to come
No,
to.
I get that.
to come to Rhode
I definitely want to do that too. When I went out to Boston for the open mic, it was cool because I met some guy. He was like, "Well, I run this open mic on Thursdays, and I run this. Oh, there's another one on some other date." You know what I mean? I thought that was cool. Obviously, it's hard to get into Boston on a Thursday for both of us because we work day jobs, and you got the kids. I got to come home, and I got a lot of stuff going on at home right now. But so it's gonna it'll be a challenge, but we'll get to it, and we're gonna we make time for it, and we'll scour. We'll eventually we're branching out. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think this is probably one of the best things that I've done because this is really, dude, we're really connecting on this, man. You're not for
Think so.
nothing. You and Jonathan, we have another brother, Jonathan. Okay.
Another part of the Roy brothers,
yeah,
but
we're trying to get him to do comedy. All
he
right?
won't though.
But he's shy, but we're gonna get him to do it maybe one day. But this guy, always hanging out with him all the time, and I'm like, dude, when am I gonna hang out with my brother? You know what I mean? They watch the shows together, they ride motorcycles together. So now it's my time to steal, my older brother for a little bit. But yeah. So I guess trying to direct it a little bit, like here, what. So where would you think the comedy that, like, when do you think you like thinking like where did all this start? Like, where do you think like. Not like you want to do comedy, but like, where do you think like your sense of humor came from? Like, I know you wanted to say
Jesus.
like, we spent a lot of time around the fire, bullshitting. Our dad is a big ball
Oh,
buster.
man. It just comes
Maybe
from busting balls
Dude, our dad
and surviving in like that male
Yeah,
stereotype.
yeah,
Like it's so funny. It's like these guys just fucking roasted me for like the whole workday. Do they hate me? Wait, why are they inviting me out for beers later?
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I just feel like we're quick-witted because we have to be.
yeah.
And that
Well,
quick wit turns into funny, and funny turns into comedy, and then all that turns into sets and bits and premises, and it just spirals out of control. And then just for me, for the writing process, I do to sit after the day is done. It's quiet, finally. It's just me and a pen and paper, and you're just writing, and you're laughing and giggling the whole time you're writing.
yeah. Well, that's the thing too.
So that's another addicting part.
Yeah, I think I said that too on somewhere, and I was like, I think it was Facebook. I posted about it, whatever. I'm like, writing comedy, and you just find a joke that that one hits. I wrote a joke recently about friggin' Sam Walton. You know what I mean? I've been working at Walmart for 6 years, and that one, I just started laughing my ass off writing the joke. You know what I mean? And like, so I think like you
We'll
said,
talk about that
it's-
next episode. We
Yeah.
gotta bring some light onto that one.
Yeah, but yeah. So you,
There's tons of topics we can go into. Workshop, like even that, the Sam Walton stuff, the founder, right? The founder of Walmart.
yeah, he founded Walmart.
So the founder of Walmart. So the reason
yeah. Lord and Savior.
is because another good topic to talk about in future episodes is workshopping.
Yeah.
And what happens if another comic comes up with a great line when you're workshopping? Is it good to use that? I don't know. I think we should talk about that because workshopping is a huge piece. I think because for me, where I come up with a lot of my stuff is, like we were saying, the ball busting part. For me is externally, it's like an external thought process because I need to get my words out and bounce things off the wall or other people, and I get inspired by that.
Yeah. Well, I think too, growing up with me, you, Jonathan, our brother, and then our dad, and just Uncle Ron, all the uncles, you know, dude. Honestly, like, and it was just everyone bust balls. I swear, if you go to a family party, all people do is just rip on each other, and everyone gets loud, and I mean, even on a Saturday night, a game night that we're doing, people getting loud. I just think growing up around that, it's just kind of like part of our personality, and even at work, I'm busting chops. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know if this is like cocky to say, but like people will be like, "What do you think? You're a fucking comedian?" And be like, kinda."
Hey,
I
I
guess.
got paid once to do stand up, so technically I'm a professional comedian.
Yeah,
Right?
dude. Yeah. Hey, you
Right?
made it the big time. You know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I think it's gonna be a good opportunity to kind of I feel like you kind of gotta stand out too in the podcast role. The podcast space is very saturated, and
Yeah, with
which is fine.
30-year-old white guys.
Here we are. We're, you know what I mean? But I think at the end of the day, I think we want to offer people an experience that's a little different, we'll talk about stuff, off the topic here and there, but I really think talking about renowned comedy is pretty cool too. And then just getting
a good
different
start.
people on here. Honestly, dude, now that we're kicking this off, I'm kind of excited. I wish Kyle was sitting here right next to me right
Well,
now.
this is episode 0, boys. Episode 1. He's the first guest. He's not going to be the first episode, but he'll be the first
Yeah,
guest.
he's going to be the first guest.
Episode 1 is going to be... I don't know what it's going to be, man. It's going to be... I don't know.
Episode one.
The direction of this is going to be basically created and outlined live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got to find out where the value is going to come for a lot of people watching. And I think what that would be is obviously stand-up content, but maybe more like again, how do you write? What's the writing process? This versus that, like actual stand-up comedy theory. I think that's good stuff to get into once in a while. I think once in a while talking about random shit and just having a goof is good to help entertain. Obviously the big part is gonna be the guests coming on. And if you're still watching this, then thank you. You sat through this, kind of like we're talking. My uncle, my aunt, like
I know,
these
right?
people
Well,
actually
hey, you get to
fucking
know
know
us
who
a
they
little
are.
bit. That's the thing too. People people get to know us a little bit too. You know what I mean? And
So it's
Which is
good,
good.
but just know like future episodes, it's gonna be a lot more entertaining. This is just a fucking quick
yeah, so if
rip.
you stuck with it, appreciate it honestly, and looking to keep this going, and even if you like and share it, it only takes 2 seconds, and we want to, we really want to make people laugh. We really want to make people, just smile a little bit. And honestly, the way I see it as too, just if I want to cap off, this whole comedy thing for me, it's like we live in a time where people are just at each other's necks, and everything on social media is so toxic, and everyone just, I hate to say it, but no one's really getting along right now. Politics are crazy.
let's get
We're
the
very
politics out of it.
polarized. Yeah, exactly. What I'm
just
trying to
chill, man.
say is like,
Yeah.
politics, all that stuff aside, comedy is good because it gets you. It's an escape from all that.
Definitely.
I ain't gonna get political in here. I'll never talk about politics, but
We'll joke
what I'm
about
trying
it,
to
though.
say, yeah, we joke about it. But
That's fair game.
what I'm gonna say is that in a world where everyone's divided, it seems like sometimes, at least in comedy, we all get together and share laughs. I don't care what your view is. If we're laughing, have a good time. That's the best part. It's a good good little escape from reality for a little bit. So,
Well put. So
But-
for episode 0, is there any more itinerary? Our community knows where we're going with this.
yeah.
They know that we're going to highlight the Rhode Island comic scene and the broader Northeast when it becomes available. They know we're going to interview local comics and
Yep.
beyond. They know that we're going to get into some topics and laugh and have fun. They know we're going to get into comedic stand-up theory. They know which includes the writing process, which includes just thoughts about blue versus clean.
Yeah. Now, when you
Best
say
practices to get up on stage, whatever. Just the mental part about it, and then I think also we can have a little bit of crossover too, where we can go off topic. We have some friends that do other things
yeah,
in
well,
professions that
dude,
we want to
yeah.
get people like. What are other people's interests? So we're gonna get some car guys on here if you like
we're gonna
cars.
get DeRosa driven on here. My friend Tom DeRosa's got a car page.
We can talk about.
He's funny too. Not for nothing. He's
Talk about
pretty
anything,
funny.
man.
Yeah,
What are you into lately? You into science? You into fucking?
What you could do is you can apply comedy to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
know,
clean my valves, baby.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Check my head gasket.
so you're gonna get everything all in once, and at the same time, we're also looking. We're trying to find out what makes people want to stick around, and what, because we don't want to waste anyone's time either. So
Yeah. Well,
we want to bring some value, some laughs, and
we're all, yeah, and like you're saying,
throw us in the earbuds when you're working or on the way to work or whatever.
and you can
That's
hear
what I
us
do.
talk from my apartment spare room with all my movies.
The apartment spare room. We'll get some other backdrops too. He's got the fucking
Got the Austin Powers.
got the
fucking-
flowers behind him.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be my music room and my movie room, but now it's my podcast
Hey,
room.
there you go. We'll give a little.
Well, this is my media
We'll
room.
give a studio tour.
Yeah.
And if this is gonna be audio only too, so if you're doing it that way, jump onto YouTube.
Yeah, audio.
So,
video.
anyways, we're gonna. So, I guess we'll just. Do you want to end it, or do we have any more itinerary?
I think that's it. I think we just introducing ourselves and kind of, because honestly, I could talk about this stuff for a long time.
We're gonna record episode 1, I think.
All right. Well, yeah.
So that'll be cool, and and I think launch is gonna be
Yeah, we'll
next week. I don't know,
Well,
but
we'll launch. That's going to be our first guest, so I believe so. Or
no,
you want to do episode 1?
No, our first launch is gonna be just us, I think.
All right.
But so what was I gonna say? I think
Well-
that's. Oh, I guess yeah. So I guess we'll just end it with, we'll be on YouTube.
YouTube,
Roy
Facebook.
Brothers Podcast will be on Instagram. Roy Brothers Podcast. Our Instagrams will throw up. I mean, I know I'm gonna throw up little nuggets and highlights and stuff. Like I'll do one from today.
Yep. And
so-
it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be on social media, and
And we'll put next episode we'll
continue to promote it
put out
for
there.
sure, and kind of just take it one podcast episode at a time and just have fun with it, So, but I appreciate you guys listening and hanging out with us for a bit. As next episode we're gonna kick it up a notch and have some fun. Appreciate you guys listening to the introduction period. So, looking forward to many more with you guys.
See ya.